Are you prepared for a no-deal Brexit? We heard about stockpiling. Good morning. Have you put any more plans in place?
Yes, we have. We've been planning for a no-deal Brexit for the last 4 or 5 months. It's a prudent thing to do to make sure that we're robust in any kind of situation. And passengers can be confident that they can still fly, they can still book ahead, even with a no-deal Brexit. The plans are in place to achieve that. And I have to say the UK government and the EU have done a good job over recent months in listening to the concerns of our business to make sure that trade and passengers keep on flowing, even in a no-deal Brexit.
Are there any measures that you're holding off on for now in the hope of a deal Brexit because it would be too costly to put in place?
No, we're making all the sensible decisions that you would expect us to make, making sure we've got extra resource available in the early days of Brexit. I'll be working in the terminals myself on that Saturday morning, along with lots of other colleagues, just making sure that we can support passengers with any questions they have. But we've also been planning ahead, making sure that we have stockpiles of all the essentials that we currently import from the EU, things like the rubber gloves that security officers wear when they're doing a pat-down. Those all are imported, and we need to make sure we have good stockpiles. But we're also making sure that our smaller companies in our supply chain don't bear the burden of stockpiling. And we're protecting their payment terms to 30 days. And I think that any large, well-financed, well-managed company should be doing that to protect smaller businesses through uncertainty. But we've also raised a £2.3 billion war chest just in the last year, not just ahead of Brexit, but also to prepare for expansion. We're going to have a £14 billion investment in expanding Europe's biggest hub, making a really successful integrated airport, which will be the best connected airport in the world. And we're cracking on with that, even though there is this uncertainty around Brexit, because it's a vital part of the UK's economic plan as we leave the European Union.
I would like to go back, actually, also to the third runway. But first, how is air cargo traffic holding up? Is it increasing as people prepare for Brexit? Do they want to get goods out of the country maybe quicker than they would have normally done so?
No, cargo is very stable, actually, at the moment. I mean, most of the big trading routes out of Heathrow for cargo are quite full. So routes like Heathrow, Los Angeles is full anyway. But we are preparing for the possibility that there will be more cargo between the UK and the EU travelling by air in those early days of Brexit, just in case there is any congestion getting through the Channel ports. We'll have extra facilities available for that, and we'll manage that smoothly, just to make sure that business can keep on flowing between the UK and the EU.
So what would that actually look like? Is it extra, security checkpoints? Is it extra customs? And would that be the same for actually passport control?
Well, for passengers travelling through the airport, they won't feel much difference. And in fact, some of the things that are currently a concern, I know particularly for travellers from North America in immigration, will get better. Not on the day of Brexit, but within the next few months, we'll be allowing more non-EU countries to use the electronic gates when they arrive at Heathrow. That will be transformational for visitors to this country, and it's really treating friendly countries such as the US and Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore in the same way that we do our friends in the European Union. And that will give a really world-class experience to passengers when they first arrive in the country, which is the right thing to do, to show that Britain is open for business as we leave the European Union.
Are you seeing any drop-off in booking in the immediate post-Brexit period?
No, not at all. In fact, bookings are holding up very well. We're actually seeing good growth at the moment. So I'm not concerned about the impact of Brexit on travel through the airport, and passengers can come ahead and book with confidence. We will be there to support them and make sure that they have a great experience travelling through Heathrow just after we leave the EU, as they do every day. And Heathrow is one of the best airports in the world these days for passengers, even those with reduced mobility, travelling through the airport. So we can guarantee a fantastic service when you travel through the airport on the 30th of March.
Mr. Holland-Kaye, when you look at the third runway plan, are there any tweaks that you will be putting forward to get through the last hurdle?
Well, we've got a really good plan already. It's one that is affordable, sustainable, financeable. We've really worked closely with local communities to make sure that it works for them, that we minimise some of the negative issues that people are concerned about, impact of noise, on air quality, and we maximise the benefits, tens of thousands of jobs, 10,000 apprentices as we expand the airport. So actually, we've got a good plan that is just now going through the planning process. We will be filing our planning application formally in the middle of next year, and we are on course to get consent in 2021 and open the new runway in 2026. So this is a fantastic opportunity for Britain to have a world-class airport that will be the best connected airport in the world, a vital part of the UK's economic plan outside the EU, but also a £14 billion privately funded investment in British infrastructure at exactly the time that the economy needs it. And that's why Heathrow expansion is such a vital part of the UK's plan for the next few years and the next few decades.